In our lives today, it can feel like we are constantly swimming against a powerful current. The news on our screens shouts with headlines of conflict and worry. Our social media feeds can sometimes feel like a highlight reel of everything we are not, and every day brings new challenges that test our patience and our spirit. It is so easy to feel overwhelmed, to look at the world around us and think that everything is just too difficult, too negative, too much to handle. This feeling can settle deep within our souls, a heavy weight that we carry with us from morning until night, dimming our own inner light. So often, our first instinct is to fight back against this feeling. We try to change the world, to fix every problem, and to make everything right. We believe that if we just push hard enough, we can control the uncontrollable. We want to change other people's minds, to make them see things our way. We get into arguments with loved ones, we get frustrated with co-workers, and we feel anger towards strangers on the news. But this constant battle is exhausting. It drains our energy and leaves us feeling more defeated than when we started, because we are trying to change things that were never ours to change in the first place. The secret to finding peace is not in winning the fight, but in choosing to let it go. True serenity comes from a place of radical acceptance. This means accepting the world and everyone in it exactly as they are in this moment. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything or condone negativity. It simply means you release the need to control it. Acceptance is a gentle surrender, a quiet declaration that you will no longer allow outside circumstances to disturb your inner calm. It is a powerful choice to protect your own peace above all else. A great deal of our human suffering comes from the stories we tell ourselves. We create a narrative in our minds about how life should be, how people should act, and how the world should operate. When reality does not match our personal story, we feel anxiety, sadness, and disappointment. We get stuck in the gap between our expectations and what is actually happening. But what if we could release that story? What if we could simply allow life to unfold without judgment? This is where our freedom begins, in letting go of the script and embracing the beautiful, unpredictable journey of life as it is. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and others is the gift of acceptance. Think about the people in your life, your friends, your family, your colleagues. How much energy do you spend wishing they were different? Perhaps you wish your partner were more communicative, or your friend were more reliable, or a family member shared your political views. We often believe we are helping by trying to change them, but this effort almost never works. People only change when they are ready, based on their own experiences and their own timing. Our attempts to force that change only create distance and resentment. True acceptance of another person means loving them for who they are right now, not for the person you hope they will become. It means listening to their opinions without feeling the need to correct them. It means observing their choices without passing judgment. When you can do this, you create a space of safety and love. You allow them to be their authentic selves, and in return, you free yourself from the frustrating job of trying to be their director. This is a profound act of kindness, and it builds bridges of connection instead of walls of irritation. This journey of accepting others always begins with you. You cannot give to others what you do not have for yourself. Research has shown us that there is a powerful link between self-acceptance and our ability to accept those around us. When you can look in the mirror and embrace your own imperfections, your own quirks, and your own past mistakes, you develop a deep compassion. You understand that we are all flawed, and we are all doing the best we can. From this place of self-love, it becomes so much easier to offer that same grace to everyone you meet. Think of a time when you faced a truly difficult situation, a challenge at work, a health scare, or a painful loss. In those moments, fighting against reality only makes the pain worse. But when you can find a way to accept the situation, a shift happens. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means you stop wasting energy on what-ifs and should-have-beens, and you can then focus your strength on how to move forward. This is true resilience. It is the quiet power that helps people survive natural disasters, overcome personal trauma, and find light in the darkest of times. I want to share a simple but powerful technique to help you find this calm perspective, especially when you feel caught up in a stressful moment. Imagine that your life is a play unfolding on a grand stage. You are one of the main actors, deeply involved in the drama, the dialogue, and the action. When you are on that stage, it is impossible to see the whole picture. You're too close to the emotions, too invested in the scene. You react to everything immediately, without space to think or breathe. This is where we often say and do things we later regret. Now, here is the technique. I want you to metaphorically step off the stage and walk up to the balcony. From this higher vantage point, you can look down and see the entire play. You can see yourself on the stage, interacting with the other actors. You can see the bigger story unfolding. This simple act of visualization creates mental and emotional distance. It allows you to become an observer of your own life rather than just a participant. From the balcony, you are not entangled in the immediate drama, so you can see things more clearly and objectively. Let's say you're in a difficult conversation with a loved one. You feel your anger rising and you're about to say something hurtful. In that moment, pause. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself floating up to the balcony. Look down at the scene, see yourself, see the other person, and notice the emotions in the room. From this perspective, you might recognize that the other person is speaking from a place of fear, not anger. You might see that your own reaction is based on a past hurt, not the present situation. This insight gives you the power to choose a better response. Practicing the balcony technique regularly can transform how you navigate your daily life. You can use it before a stressful meeting, during a disagreement, or whenever you feel overwhelmed by the world's chaos. It is a way of hitting the pause button on life, giving your wiser self a chance to step forward. It helps you respond with intention instead of reacting from instinct. This simple shift in perspective is a tool you can carry with you everywhere. A secret key to unlocking a more peaceful and thoughtful way of being in this world. We must be mindful of the stories we allow into our lives, especially from the world around us. The news we consume is often designed to capture our attention through fear and negativity. If we are not careful, this constant stream of bad news becomes the soundtrack to our lives, painting a picture of a world that is broken and hopeless. It is easy to absorb this narrative until we believe it is the only truth. But you have to remember that you are the author of your own life story, and you get to decide which chapters you focus on. You have the power to curate your own experience. This might mean limiting your exposure to negative news. You can choose to stay informed without being inundated. Perhaps you check the headlines once a day instead of scrolling constantly. You can consciously choose to seek out stories of hope, kindness and progress, because they are out there, even if they don't always make the front page. Fill your mind with content that uplifts you, that inspires you, and that reminds you of the goodness that exists in humanity. You are the guardian of your own mind and heart. As you practice acceptance and gain perspective, you will find that your own inner story begins to change. The narrative of frustration and helplessness can be replaced with one of resilience and grace. You start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. You see other people not as adversaries, but as fellow travelers on a complicated journey. This new story is not based on ignoring reality, but on choosing to focus on what you can control, your own attitude, your own actions, and your own inner peace. This is where your true power lies. Finding peace in a chaotic world is not a destination you arrive at once and for all. It is a continuous practice, a daily choice to return to a place of acceptance. It is about breathing through the difficult moments and remembering to step onto the balcony. It is about being as kind to yourself as you are to others. I want you to know that this peace is absolutely possible for you. It lives within you, waiting for you to turn your attention toward it. By embracing acceptance, you can quiet the noise of the world and finally hear the beautiful, hopeful melody of your own soul.